Hello world, I'm Attila. Today I will talk about the Thank You Economy book by Gary Vaynerchuk. And this was a book about digital marketing in the digital age. Because I feel like that in the age of social media and the internet, mm, traditional marketing methods don't work as well. So like renting a billboard or renting a place in the newspaper, that's not how cool companies work, and that's not how customers work either. So there is this massive opportunity in the age of digitization with online marketing, and if you can exploit this as a company, then you have tremendous opportunity and tremendous advantage over your competitors. So let's talk about this because I found this fascinating. Our experience as a customer with big corporations become impersonal. So you just go into Walmart, you buy a lot of stuff, you go into a cashier, and they are happy or not that happy, but it's impersonal. Like we used to have a very personal relationship with the shop assistant and the cashier. Like in your local shop, you chatted a little bit, you were in good terms with the cashier, and word of mouth marketing was very important because if you are in good terms with the cashier, then you might recommend it to one of your friends because you like the products and you like the cashier. And word of mouth marketing is more important than ever, but it's moved to the internet. So as a CEO, you should be constantly active on Twitter or on the social media that your customers are on, because there are a lot of benefits. So you might test your products because you can get instant feedback and you might improve on your products. Or you can also, like when they have a good experience, they will go onto Twitter and say, yeah, this company was great, I recommend it to everyone. And on social media, the sky is the limit. So infinite number of people can see this Twitter post, and so this feedback is leveraged. So this word of mouth marketing is very important on Twitter and in social media because infinite number of people can see this. But that's true for negative feedback as well. If they say that they had a problem, then that rumor or that fact will spread fast. But you can work on it because if you as a CEO reply to their negative experience and you help them solve the problem, then that will shock and awe your customers, because it's not usual that a CEO of a big company, a busy and successful people, just reply to them and solve their problems. So they might become like a brand activist and they might recommend this product to others. And if people of the social media see that you had a bad experience but the CEO helped solve that, then they will find it fascinating because that's still an unusual phenomenon. So you should care about your customers and treat every customer as he or she was the most important customer on the world, because their feedback will be seen by a lot of people. And as a company, you will be left behind if you don't adapt social media. So you should go there fast because that's where the big opportunities are. And you build trust on social media. So don't watch return on investment. Social media is a long-term play. Trusting relationships don't happen after one night or after 1 week. And so you must provide superior customer service because this news will spread fast. And with little money, you can impress your customers. So you should reward the most active customers who replied the most to your Twitter feed and who like your product. So for example, you might invite them to a factory tour, or you might go on a cool program with them, or like surprise them with presents and like document that and post that on social media, because this again will shock and awe your customers that like this brand is caring about like the most important Twitter or the most active social media followers, and they will try to be active as well. And if on social media like they see that the people who got recommended this product are active, then the algorithm will recommend this page or this user to even more people. But then you can say that like that these platforms change all the time. So for example, look at MySpace. It died, and if I invest a lot of my energy and time into Twitter, for example, it might die in a couple of years and all my energy will be waste. But that's not true. Platforms can change, but the community will stay. So you can transform your community into another platform. And so that, yeah, this trusting relationship, they don't change with a platform and things like that. And traditional media, however outdated it is, it can still work together with social media well. So for example, you might rent billboards and write a joke and recommend them to go to your Twitter feed. So some kind of cooperation or synergy between these two are like I think that is very important. And you must be genuine on social media and engage with the culture. Don't just become like a mindless big corporation. I don't know. So like be active, reply to Twitter, and reply to people, and post memes, or I don't know. For example, look at Elon Musk. He is active on Twitter all the time, and Tesla doesn't pay marketing around $0. So, and he sells a lot of cars on Twitter, and that's one of his main marketing sources. He got 42 million people who he can reach all the time for free. So he didn't pay anything for Twitter. So that's the next level marketing strategy, in my opinion. And if you're a small company, you should play as a big company. And if you are big, you should play as a small. So if you are small, then you should be very generous with your presence to your most active followers and things like that. And if you are big, then reply to a lot of customers and just be genuine and be a small, lovely company, even though you are a massive company. And very important another thing is invest in your own employees, because they can be activists of your brand like easily, because they are very familiar with the operations of the company. And people are surprised if an employee of a company is like an activist of the company and they love that company that they work for, because that's very unusual. So invest in your employees, because then they might recommend your product to friends and family, and you will start this feedback loop. So employee activists are very important. So that was this book. I found this online presence as a company very important, and it's a big opportunity that is not very exploited, I feel. So you should subscribe to my YouTube channel or follow my podcast. I create videos every day for people who don't read enough because they don't have time. I read one book every day and I share the thoughts and the things that I learned from that book. I also have a Twitter account. I try to be active there as well, so you should follow me. I will put everything in the description. So, thank you for coming in. Bye bye.